Kyle Larson is $1 million richer and what is honestly, in my opinion, the best open and all-star race of all time. Welcome to the NASCAR on MDK post-race show, Inside the Lines. I'm your host, Jack Krause. Let's get right into it. We had first the All-Star Open that took place before the All-Star race earlier today. Stage 1 consisted of Daniel Hemric. He really led a good portion of the race. In fact, 8 laps into it, he just escaped. He just ran by everybody, got away from everybody. He went up to, I believe, about a 1.6 second lead ahead of Kyle Larson around 8 laps into it. And then everything went south. With 4 laps to go, BJ McLeod blew an engine off of turn number 2. That caused the first caution, I should say, of the stage. And then just a bit later, Chris Buescher, one of the underdogs to possibly win one of the stages in the All-Star Open, he had a broken track bar on the rear of his race car. Smoke came out of the left rear of his car, and as a result, he was done for the day. That set it up a restart for NASCAR overtime for stage 1, and unbelievable. What a battle. Let's get right. We'll just go to the final lap already. Bubba Wallace, he was able to get underneath Kyle Larson just a bit in turns 1 and 2, able to move him up the racetrack and allowed for a side-by-side battle. But then on the final lap, down the back straightaway, Larson and Bubba Wallace were just battling side-by-side, just being off each other. Then entering turns 3 and 4, Bubba Wallace was able to clear Kyle Larson. But what he did not know is that William Byron was right behind him. Byron gets to the left rear panel of Bubba Wallace. They had a Kurt Busch and Ricky Craven tie finish, and at the line, it was William Byron by inches it seemed like. And here's another view. Bubba Wallace was able to clear Larson, but did not know that Byron was just there. Byron just went up and hit the left rear of Wallace. They, again, like I said, had a Busch and Craven type of being banged to the finish. And look how close this finish is. Just inches, maybe around like 3/4 of an inch. I'm not really sure. Stage 2, though, was a bit calmer for the beginning part of it. Bowman and Daniel Suarez led the race, really, the first stages of the race. Bowman was able to get by Daniel Suarez, and Suarez was able to he wasn't able to get by Bowman, wasn't able to get close to Bowman, but was able to maintain the gap, or it was around 2 to 3 car lengths. But then the battles between Hemric and Ryan Preece took place. The 2 rookies in the NASCAR Cup Series, they were just duking back and forth. They were just passing each other left and right until, with around 3 laps to go, Hemric slid up into Ryan Preece, made contact with him and the wall, and then everything was still good until you get into that same lap in turns 3 and 4, where Daniel Hemric went up, tried to clear Ryan Preece, but unfortunately Preece was still there. They both slammed the outside wall, and then Daniel Hemric then just slammed on the brakes to try and do some more damage to Preece's car, but obviously didn't do anything. But instead, it just got himself turned around, and Daniel Harvick was not too happy with Mr. Ryan Preece. Here's what he said to Bob Pockris.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's sitting there struggling, and I catch him, and it just air blocks me 5, 6, 7 times to the point where I'm gonna knock the fence down in the air. He knows how bad it is, and we're racing, right? He's doing his job. But I became more and more aggravated by the lap, and I'd had enough of it, so I was gonna clear myself one way or another. Just didn't quite have enough racetrack.
Did you think he turned you on purpose there at the end?
No, I stopped to try to knock his hood off.
All right.
If I was destroyed after hitting the fence, he wasn't going to win either.
So that brought out another version of NASCAR overtime with 2 laps to go. And the 2 people up front was Alex Bowman and Bubba Wallace. Then on the final lap, Daniel Suarez was able to get side by side with the leader, Bubba Wallace, and heading into turns 3 and 4. Another fantastic finish. Daniel Suarez cuts to the inside of Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace then forces the issue, being and banging again. Suarez then slides, and Bubba Wallace was able to secure his stage 2 win and lock himself into the All-Star race while Suarez slides. Here's another look at the race replay. Suarez just created a lane that wasn't there. Bubba Wallace aggressively held his line. Suarez moved up, spun, and that cost himself a chance at winning the stage. Stage 3, nothing really happened. Kyle Larson got out in front and won. I think he basically led every lap, of stage 3 and won the final segment and was able to lock himself into the All-Star race. And Alex Bowman won the fan vote. Now, stage 1, I can't remember really because I wasn't there to see it. I was busy doing something else. But stage 1, consisted of 30 laps. It was Kevin Harvick. No, it was Clint Bowyer that was the pole winner. However, Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch immediately got out front and just drove away from the rest of the field. They really dominated stage 1. Harvick was keeping Kyle Busch at bay up until around 8 or around a handful of laps ago. Busch was able to get by Kevin Harvick. Around that same time, Eric Jones brought out a caution due to a left rear tire going down, I believe it was. That brought out, again, NASCAR overtime again with 2 laps ago. However, nothing big happened. Kyle Busch was able to get out in front and win stage 1. Throughout that whole time, we saw some amazing racing. Here's a little clip from Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson. Larson just got pushed up until Ryan Blaney. They somehow saved it. Then Larson decided to just push the back end of Blaney, literally just all over Blaney's bumper, getting Blaney a bit loose. Just moments like that just made the All-Star Race very fun to watch. But really, that was really it that happened in stage 2, and Kevin Harvick was able to win the second stage in that Millennial car. Stage 3 starts with Clint Bowyer as the race leader, I think it was, but then with 3 laps into stage 3, Kevin Harvick was off the pace due to a loose wheel, so he had to come up pit road. But then 1 lap later, he'd be saved by that because Austin Dillon made contact with Kyle Busch. Austin Dillon tried to make a lane that was not there, tried to come down, and Kyle Busch was there. Dillon then slid up into the number 20 car of Eric Jones to bring out another caution. I think it was the second or third real caution of that race. We then saw drivers in the third stage like Chase Elliott, which he was coming. He started around mid-pack, was making his way. He got by Clint Bowyer for the 3rd position, then got by Brad Keselowski to 2nd. Another driver that was coming was the 4 car of Kevin Harvick. He was saved by that loose wheel. Started 18th, but moved up his way very fast up to 6th place by the end of the stage. But it was the number 22 car of Joey Logano that won stage 3. Stage 4, the final 15 lap battle started off very entertaining with Joey Logano and Chase Elliott, the 2 leaders. They were side by side for around 2 laps or so, but then Kyle Busch gives Chase Elliott a good push in the turns 3 and 4 to have Elliott to the lead. But then we saw this 4-wide battle. Bowman, Hamlin, Truex, and Johnson 4 wide at the start finish line, but that contact between the teammates of Truex and Hamlin, that contact caused Truex to suffer a tire rub and also caused Hamlin to blow a left rear tire, spin into the 3 car of Austin Dillon, and cause another caution. Here's a look at one more time from Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin, obviously with that left rear tire going down, he just came in with less momentum or less speed than expected. Blaney had no idea, just slams into the back of him, spins Hamlin around, and then Hamlin slides up into Austin Dillon. Back to restart, but then with 12 laps to go, Eric Jones, he already blew a tire, the left rear tire I think it was in stage 1. He blew another one, spun in turns 3 or 4 and into the wall to bring out another caution in the final 15 laps. Then with 12 laps to go, when the restart came out, it was the Kyle Larson versus Kyle Busch versus Kevin Harvick show. I mean, those 3 were just really close to each other. Again, good racing between those 3. Larson was able to get in front of Kyle Busch with the help from Kevin Harvick from a couple cautions from a couple restarts ago. Then with 7 laps to go, Kyle Busch, his dream would come to an end. He drove way too hard coming off of turns 3 and 4 and was slammed the outside wall, and that basically just ended his chances of scoring a second All-Star victory. Kevin Harvick was able to get by him for 2nd place, but Larson would not be out of the woods yet. Kevin Harvick would then try to get by the number 42 car, Kyle Larson, in the turns 3 and 4 for the final time, but it would not work. Kyle Larson will score his first All-Star Race victory and will win that precious $1 million. Now the interesting part, while he was doing his burnouts, we had a fight on the pit road between Ryan Newman and Clint Bowyer. Clint Bowyer got out of his car and just charged at Ryan Newman, doing like rock'em sock'em type of moves, just punches left and right to Ryan Newman. And the reason for that was because of what took place on the cool down lap. Newman punted Clint Bowyer, that sent Bowyer into the wall. So of course Bowyer was pissed off, retaliated, not verbal, but more like physical. And there was a big scuffle on pit road from Bob Parker, so I'm not going to play the audio because I cannot be bothered to bleep things, so I'm just not going to play the audio. But it was a pretty expletive fill, to say the least. But Bowyer and Newman both gave their sides on what happened during that incident. Yeah, I can't play the audio. Thanks, NASCAR. You're really good with online these days. Let's take a look at the results for the All-Star race. This has all been official because Kyle Larson tech has been done. Kyle Larson is the winner. Second place is Kevin Harvick. Third is Kyle Busch. Fourth is Joey Logano. Bubba Wallace, an amazing effort for him to come home in fifth place. Eric Almirola 6th. Austin Dillon 7th. Alex Bowman 8th. William Byron 9th. Mark Truex Jr. 10th. Brian Keselowski 11th. Clint Boyer 12th. Ryan Newman 13th. Chase Elliott 14th. Jimmy Johnson 15th. Ryan Blaney 16th. Kurt Busch 17th. Denny Hamlin 18th. And Eric Jones in dead last in the 19th spot. Now, 10 out of 10. 10 out of freaking 10. This race was, not only this race, but both the All-Star race and the All-Star Open. The race in the first two stages, so we're a bit, you know, not as hyped up as we expected to be, but to be honest, how can you get higher than what you saw in the Open? The Open basically made up for those first two stages, and then the final two stages of the All-Star race was just, amazing. It was action-packed. It was so much fun to watch. And I think a package like this can save the All-Star race, really. The past 2 years, the All-Star race was phenomenal. Very fun to watch. 10 out of 10 the whole event. Now, a lot of people have issues that Boyer, a lot of people said that Boyer, what he did was a really pity move. Like, I can't find the words to say it. Like a real, it was a punk type move, what a lot of people say. I'm on the minority. I don't think what he did was really anything wrong. In fact, what he did is what 90 to 95% of us would have done, okay? 90 to 95% of us would have done the exact same thing Clint Boyer did. Okay, think about it. If you're hot, you're on emotions, okay? You are, how can I say this? You know, you are running, you know, adrenaline's running high. You get wrecked, or you get something that happens to you, and you're pissed off at a certain driver. The last thing you think of, and if you're that hot and you see that driver right in front of you, the last thing you think of, oh, I need to take off my helmet, I need to get this off, this off. No, you're not gonna worry about taking off your helmet. You're gonna want to get to that driver as fast as you can and do some damage as fast as possible. You're not gonna wait to take off your helmet. Another issue a lot of people that I've seen with people have is that, oh, you should have waited till you get out of the car. Again, I'll apply those same set of rules. If you are that pissed off at somebody, pissed off enough that you want to beat them up, are you really gonna wait for them to look at you? No. Doesn't matter what condition they're in, if you're pissed off at a driver, it doesn't matter if they're looking at you, if they're sitting down, if they're strapped into something, it doesn't matter. You're gonna go over there and wanting to do some damage. That's how we work. That's how 90% of us work. If we're pissed off at a certain someone, doesn't matter how we do it, we want to beat them up. That's why I have no issues with what Clint Boyer did, because with the helmet thing, again, at that moment, and when you see that driver right in front of you, the last thing you think of is, oh, let me take off my helmet. No, the first thing, and really the only thing you think of is beating that driver up. Okay? And you know, for the people that are saying, oh, he should have waited. Really? Would you, if you were that pissed off at someone, would have waited for him to get out of the car and do all of that? Yeah, you know, because it could have taken a while for, you know, it could have taken some time for Newman to eventually get out of the car. You're really gonna wait? You're gonna wait for 5 or so seconds? You know, it might seem like forever at that time, but no, you're not. If you see an opportunity, you're gonna take it. If you see an opportunity to do some damage to someone that pissed you off, doesn't matter. You're not gonna wait. You're not gonna take off your helmet. You're just gonna go. So that's why I have no issue with Clint Boyer did. And I find 90% of you people that say that what he did was really a punk move, I know deep down you guys would have done the exact same thing. So that, I rest my case on that. But overall, best All-Star race I've ever watched. And I thought last year's All-Star race was amazing. This year blew it out of the water, because not only the All-Star race was fun to watch, the All-Star Open was just amazing to watch. So yeah, that was my All-Star race recap. Tell me, what do you guys think of the All-Star race in the comment section down below, and also tell me, what do you guys think about those two topics? Do you think Bubba's move, was it dirty or was it aggressive? And do you think what Boyer did was justified, or do you think what he did was a real poke move? I'd like to hear your comments in the comment section down below. But until next time, I'm Jake Cross from NASCAR on MDK. Hope you guys leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video.